resources is nothing but the land, and we take advantage of every piece of every animal, every piece of every tree branch, everything. You know, when we kill something, we don't just do it for the meat and stuff. We use every bone, bladder, all the fats, all of that. You know, like it's not fair. Like,
you know, and it's like it should be.
Native Americans, it was illegal to practice our culture up like 40 years ago. We couldn't practice our culture legally.
Yeah, just 40 years
we
ago.
couldn't have powwows. We couldn't, you know what I mean, pray, put tobacco out, speak our native tongue. None of that. 40 fucking years ago.
That's so true. Just
That's
40
sad.
years ago. It wasn't that long ago, you know? Like, just imagine how strong the history of our ancestors, how strong that is in our DNA. Their tears, how strong that still is. That blood is real strong because you know why? It wasn't that long ago.
And that's why it's so easy for us to live like this, though.
You know?
Like to be homeless and stuff. It's nothing to us because back in the day we were.
You know, when we live like this in these communities,
these are our teepees.
Right, and that's where we're gonna start. That's my plan and my. I don't know. I really want to do it, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start an area, and it's gonna be teepees. It's gonna be a community that's gonna have meaning to it. You know, this has meaning to it too. But I want it to be something a little bit different, a little better, like where we all feel like what we're here for. We're standing for something, and it's gonna be a community for everyone to come to. You know, and we're gonna live our lives peacefully, and you know that's what we deserve to do. And that's how it should
today,
be.
Though they really made us feel super less than what we really are.
Yes.
Their ignorance that like I was just telling that lady earlier. I said this is the true prime example of ignorance is bliss. When the police came in today, because they're not aware of us and the fact that like we have feelings. And that shit hurts, you know what I mean? Once again, you know what I mean? We have nothing right now. We already got everything that we fucking loved, everything that we could ever care for, stripped and taken away from us. Where like we felt like we had no purpose. And you guys went and took everything that we fucking like we worked hard for.
Yes. Like they don't even know how much of value they threw away. Just because we live here outside, we live in tents, like that doesn't mean we don't have expensive things. There's there's fucking 60-inch flat screens in those tents. 70-inch flat screens.
We had generators, like, you know what I mean? So like we could like pass through our tents and stuff. So like if you needed to charge your phone, you needed certain things, you know what I mean? There was stuff that we could use, you know what I mean? Like you needed to use something to cook something real quick. Yeah, electricity, like, like it was. They didn't realize how much we lean on me, literally lean on me. We really.
And people have the idea that we live in these tents and we live in these communities because we're addicts. It's not about that, because there's some people that live there that aren't addicts, that have never even used a drug. It's not about that. It's about being able to live peacefully, happily, as a community, as a family, on your own terms, and without stressing, without worrying how you're going to pay your rent, without worrying about how you're going to eat. If somebody's hungry, they don't got food, somebody else is going to give it to them.
Ourselves. You know what I mean? That's really all it is. Like we're tired of living in a colonized, you know what I mean, day. It's time to just take it back. You know what I mean? Go back.
That's true. And, like, people they don't really know, like, they don't really know how we, like she said, like, they think of us as, like, nothing, or, like, we're the lowest on the food chain, or, like,
that's where my tax money's going to, you know what I mean? Like, it's that type of bullshit.
That tax money ain't doing nothing for me. What do I get from your tax money? If that's the case, you can just fucking cash at me, because I ain't got shit from your tax money. Nothing. Nobody in this fucking tent city has this community. I call it tent city because that's what I've been calling it since it started, because it's a bunch of tents in the area. But I don't mean to use that term as, nothing derogatory, because it's not. you know, but it's a camp, you know, and it's a site where we can live peacefully. We can live with who we want to live with our, you know, with our friends and our family. And honestly, people have no idea, like, how much fun we have here. You know, they have no idea how much fun we have every day. You know, like, I was in really a deep depression, and then just being here, it's helped so much because of everyone that's here. You know, everyone makes me happy. We have, like, you know, we're always laughing. We're always, you know, it's always fun. It's never miserable. We're not miserable here. We're happy here, and we choose to be here. It's a choice. You know, it really is a choice, because if somebody wanted to go to a shelter, they could, but it's not as easy to get into a shelter either, because the system is fucked up. Because I actually tried to get into a shelter a few weeks ago, and I called the front door, whatever number it was for Hennepin County, and the lady, she was like, she didn't believe that I was, like, she made it seem like I was lying about being homeless. She was like, well, you know, shelters are expensive and this and that, so we have to verify this and that. And I'm like, do you think I want to be in a shelter? Like, you're acting like you're putting me in the fucking 5-star hotel or something. I don't want to be in a shelter. I need to be in a shelter to get housing. But it was so hard because she wanted to verify from 3 people on my list of where I lived, and she could only get a hold of 2 people. The other person she couldn't get, she actually got a hold of my dad. That was the last person, but she couldn't tell him why she was calling. And so, because of their privacy. And so just because she couldn't tell him why she was calling, he was like, well, he's not going to tell you anything about his daughter. And so because she couldn't verify that, I couldn't get into a shelter. So I'm supposed to figure out where the fuck I'm going to sleep with my 3 kids that night because of that. Like, what? You already verified 6 years of homelessness with 2 people. You know, you shouldn't even have to do that. My word should be enough. I'm homeless. I want to get into a shelter. And I got kids. What? You know? So it's not as easy to get into a shelter either, you know? And then people that are in shelters, I always hear about how much money the shelters take from them. Like, they're supposed to be trying to they're supposed to be trying to save money. You know, how can they save money when you're taking everything, you know? Especially people that work. It's not a place for people that work, you know? And it's just like, it's really, the system's fucked up. The system is set up for you to fucking fail, you know? The system is set up for you to fail. The system is set up for you to work as hard as you fucking can and still not fucking be nowhere. Thank you, babe. The system is set up, you know, it's modern day slavery. That's what it is. Modern day slavery. What'd you say?
It's like how EBT was set up to break up homes.
Exactly.
You have to have a certain circumstance to fit their criteria. And if, you know, everyone's different, and if you don't fit that exact way, then you're shunned out and you're ostracized and outcast. So,
and you know what?
You know, homeless camps like that we had, they accept everybody. You know, if you're a couple, you get split up if you try to get into shelters, you know, things like that.
Thank you.
You know, we depend on each other a lot of times.
Yeah, we do.
You know, it's just easier to do things like this.
Yep, we do depend on each other for a lot of things. We have somewhere to sleep, eat, you know. It's a community.
We know each other, we stick together, we help each other.
With whatever it is.
So where are you going?
I'm going to a new area, and I'm gonna set up an area for everyone to be at, because I'm not gonna have everyone just sitting on the sidewalk or trying to figure out where we're gonna go, because this was already my plan to set up a new spot, and that's what I'm gonna do, you know. And they can try to make us move. They can try to make us move, but
we've been scoping out new sites for weeks.
Yep. So that's my plan. That's what I was just doing, but I don't know about the spot I chose.
We knew this was going to come to an end. You know, it's the writing's on the wall. Every time we're in here for a couple weeks, they start bringing up issues. We know it's going to happen eventually. It's going to come to an end, and we got to move on and, you know, adjust. And that's what we've always done, is been able to adapt.
Yep.
And that's part of our nature, to adapt. We're survivors, and that's what we'll do if we survive.
And I want to say one more thing. Like, this whole entire country, it's built on racism, you know? Like, there is such a thing as white entitlement, you know? white privilege. You know, I met some amazing white people. You know, it's not. You know,
Like,
it's sad. It's sad that the good white people, you know, they have to live with that that label because of, you know, they gotta apologize. Exactly. But that white privilege even has you know, I just seen it here today because look, we had to leave everything. We couldn't take shit with us, you know. And I watched the officer, like, we all came over here across the street to this sidewalk. I watched an officer escort this white girl that lived there. She'd only been here for maybe like a few weeks. And I watched them escort her back to the tents to go get her shit. How come they didn't escort everyone? Is that some shit? I watched it. Did y'all see that? You know the white girl that the young one that be with that black guy that be tweaking, the mixed guy? Huh? Yeah. The fucking officer escorted her back over there to get her stuff. And then he told everyone else that, okay, well, one by one, he'll bring them back to get their stuff. No, he didn't do that. She's the only person that was able to go get her shit. Is that some shit? And she's like the only white person there, besides one more white person. But the other white girl, she's already by the new site.
If you can't acknowledge, if you're white and you can't acknowledge that you have privilege, then there's definitely a problem. You're part of the problem. You feel me?
Like shit, you can give me that privilege. You don't want it, I'll take it. No, I don't want that privilege. I'd rather work hard, you know, work hard and get there. I'd rather take the hard road than have everything handed to me, or you know, that get out of jail free card. But yeah, that even happened today here. You know, that's really fucked up. You know, right?
I mean, so y'all got there was the credible source of the threat July 8th, right? About 10 days ago, 12 days ago. And people were sort of prepared for that. And then they posted the vacate time June 27th. So
they gave us a warning and they never came.
Yep.
They never came.
And then
that was a trespassing sign, not an eviction notice.
Yep.
Right.
And
it was just a vacate time. Right?
It wasn't even a vacate sign.
And
okay.
No trespassing as long as it don't be here. But
Okay, yeah.
it did not come with it, didn't come with an eviction notice, didn't come with a deadline.
Okay,
No.
that's the clarification.
And then to top it off, the day that we were supposed to, you know, leave the premises or whatever, we had a lot of people here that were like basically supposed to activate for us. You know what I mean? Like advocate for us and speak for us and stand there. You know what I mean? Like speak for us and be a voice for us. And they never came. They never came. They basically hit us with a boom, surprise. And that's why I feel like last night's incident with the whole fire thing, I feel like that's a whole setup, yo. Like okay, so last night the whole fire like up in flames is about 2:30 this morning. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, they came last night. Remember they came last night? Remember they was in the alley last night. The police
came, they stopped, they backed up.
Y'all remember that shit? That was before the fire. They're
walking.
walking with their flashlights. Yes.
And that was around
Right before-
That was
before the fire happened.
that was like, you know, like 30 minutes, an hour before the
There
fire.
could definitely be a freaking fuse malfunction or something. You know what I mean?
And everybody that lives at this camp was accounted for all night. Nobody had left, and we would never do no shit like that because we wouldn't want to hurt somebody, and we wouldn't want to. We don't destroy.
Somebody messing with the house or something, and
Yeah.
we were out there until about a half hour before the incident happened, and we didn't see anybody tampering with anything or anything.
Like
So-
use the garage as like a place for privacy or something. You know what I mean? Like it was basically like a place that we would go to like to just like chill or get away from the camp. You know what I mean? Get water from the yards and stuff like that. So why would we ruin one of our resources outside of the camp? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. And we know people that live there. They're so. One of the houses is a really nice lady, and she'd give us ice. She'd give us ice, or you know, she'd let us use her water hose to get our hair wet, wash our soap off, or whatever, you know. And
I was the one across the street by the garden.
the white lady with the boxer dog. I don't know. She's like the only one with the water hose over there. The main water hose lady.
And then so y'all are like questioning the fire because you think the fire might have led into
And how three houses.
I heard that there's a page somewhere online that like probably Facebook or something where the neighbors were complaining about us being here and stuff, and there's rumors about us, you know what I mean, breaking and entering basically and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I was feeling like it was probably like somebody doing like a whole insurance, you know what I mean, scam type of thing.
That's all hearsay.
Yeah, like that's I don't
I
know.
haven't heard, like, I'm in these trenches. Like, don't, you know, I'm a good person, but I also got the opportunity to be a bad person at the same time. But I'm not gonna be or act on that. But I have not heard of nobody or seen nobody breaking in any of these houses over here or breaking in anywhere. Actually,
There's word on the street, and that definitely
And we hold each other
No.
accountable. We tell each other not to mess with where we sleep. You know,
Yeah,
these are our
exactly.
neighbors. We want to
Exactly.
respect them as much
Yes.
as we can, so that we don't get a bad rep right
Yeah,
around here.
exactly.
Sure, we do some activities outside of this area,
Right.
but we make sure that far enough away where it doesn't represent
Right.
the camp.
And that's not what we don't all do that shit. You know, there's always going to be a bad apple or somebody, you know, but that's not like what we stand for. That's
Make
not
sure
what we
don't
do.
shit where we eat.
But definitely what he said is true. Like, if somebody was to do something in this area, they would get yelled at, like, by all of us, you know, because don't do that shit here. This is where we sleep. You know, we're trying to protect our area and protect people around us. And, you know, that's just not okay. So those fires, I guarantee you, it was started from the police or somebody.
So the fire was
Somebody that didn't want to stay.
Yeah, somebody that didn't want to
down
stay.
the block from the encampment on 28.
Yeah, it was about 4 houses down.
Yeah, they said it was 3 houses, right?
Yeah,
How the fuck did 3 houses catch on fire?
the wind was
One
pretty
was
bad.
engulfed.
Yeah, and the wind was pretty
The
windy
one house
last
was
night.
totally
yo.
engulfed in flames.
I think that was a setup. I think they set all 3 of those houses on fire.
I mean, it completely engulfed in flames.
Really?
Yeah,
100 feet high.
yeah, and those fires like that,
house was
all the fires,
completely
About
engulfed.
12 hours ago?
Completely.
all the fires I've seen like that are just completely
The
engulfed in
largest fire I've
flames.
ever seen.
All the fires I've seen of houses that are just completely engulfed in flames, they all were fucking. It's what's the word? Vandalism, not vandalism. Somebody arson. Somebody started that shit.
You know, there had to be motive.
It wasn't
Motive
natural.
and an accelerant to get
Yeah.
a fire that big.
It wasn't natural.
And we didn't have either of those. To our
He
disposal.
said that he seen somebody in a hooded, all black hooded, carrying a gas jug. Walking to the alley.
Wow.
And I didn't see that. That was in the alley.
What about these cameras that are in the alley?
Yeah, like this area is usually pretty freaking.
There's
You know what I
cameras right
mean?
outside there. That-
Right. There's cameras. Like, how come nobody has looked at that?
I guarantee you, if they investigate further, they'll find a smoking gun.
Hmm.
And I bet it's not from our camp.
And definitely, like, Kane, he really protects the camp. He knows everything that's going on. He's always helping somebody, or he's always watching. So if he's seen somebody walking down the alley with the gas can, that happened, you know? So
Thank you all so much for sharing. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Besides
when are we gonna be able to live freely how we want to live? You know, when are we gonna have the land? What it looks like? It looks like, you know, a land that is ours, where we can live and, you know, wake up, eat, go to sleep, you know, shit, everything peacefully, smoke a cigarette, do whatever the fuck we want to do peacefully, without having to worry about losing everything we fucking own, without having to worry about getting shot if we don't leave. And if we don't leave everything, if we try to take our belongings, gotta worry about getting shot, or, you know,
When will we get
like,
treated as an equal? When will we be an equivalent
exactly.
to anybody, to motherfuckers at work and don't, you know what I mean, recovering addicts, or who hasn't ever been a part of this type of life that we live? You feel me? Like, it's not fair.
We don't need to be looked down on, because, you know what,
We're degraded.
we're degraded, and we're looked at as like little ants. You know, we can get stepped on easily, you know. But there's so many amazing people here, and people don't even know the backgrounds of a lot of people. Like me, even me, I can say my work history, you know, and people would be surprised, like, you know, like, for real.
And there's so much potential running through these encampments and stuff. Like, people don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Like, we could have so much stuff for us. There's so much stuff that we done did in our lives. There's so many high school graduates, college graduates, all types of things. It just, you know, we might have fell off. You know what I mean? Fell off the road for a little moment. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that doesn't mean our potential isn't still all set there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's not
Like,
even like,
doesn't mean we don't got a fucking beating heart. Like, we don't love and care for, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
and you know what else too? It's like, we didn't fall off, you know. Some people did. They faced eviction or whatever, and they are homeless. Like me, you know, my landlord didn't renew his lease because he wanted to sell his home, and he was a new landlord, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing. So and it was a ghetto ass duplex. It should have just been one house, and not it was like just thrown together to be a duplex. So he didn't want no more problems with it, but. It's a choice to be here. It's a choice. It's a way of living. It's a way of living. It's not just being homeless. It's a way of living. And everyone that is here wants to be here. People that don't want to be here, guess what? They're not here. They're somewhere else. They're in the shelter. They're in the house. Whatever. This is a way of living. And I'd rather live like this.
You gotta live like this for the whole winter.
Yeah.
The whole freaking winter, they live like this.
And we're warm. We stay warm. We have heaters
and stuff, all types of stuff. You
Fires,
know what I mean?
Campfires.
For real. And those are the more Minnesota winter. Let's be real. Like that's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. Like oh my god, frostbite. People I done had friends who had their toes cut off because of stuff like you know what I mean.
But remember, this is how our people used to live. We always lived outside. We lived through these winters, many winters.
All the time. We in our community, people fall off once, twice, 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You gotta keep going.
It's too cold and it don't work.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And another thing is that at the end of the day, we're all human. We should be treated as humans. Our views should be understood. Because it's a view. The way we live is a view. Our views should be understood. Our choices should be accepted. We shouldn't be judged for living outside, living together in a community of tents. And that needs to change. Like the main goal of this city is anywhere we post up to get us out of there, get us in jail, kill us, whatever. You put us in treatment so the state can get those dollars because the state gets paid for us going to treatment. And
you can't force us to go to treatment. It has to be something we want to do.
Exactly.
Why are you guys talking about wasted taxpaying money? That's wasting money a lot. You're gonna keep on. Every time I go to court, I gotta go to treatment. Well, treatment's not gonna work. Being sober because it's court ordered and I gotta go pee for a fucking probation officer isn't gonna work. And I'm gonna keep having warrants and I'm gonna keep going back to jail because this ain't what I want right now. I'm not ready for it.
Yep. My friend just graduated treatment and guess what? He was high the whole entire fucking time. And he was selling dope and shit. He was high the whole time and graduated treatment and got a medal.
That says a lot.
That says a lot right there, for real.
Like the system needs to learn how to work with us and not against us. You feel me? Like figure it out. You guys find out all other types of ways to fucking fix the roads and all this other shit. You know what I mean? How about you find a way to fucking work with us?
Exactly.
Help me, help you, help us.
Exactly. Work as a team,
Real.
I'm pretty sure all these
how many volunteers out
officers rather
here?
have us all in jail than have us in a home somewhere or have us living somewhere at a different site. They rather have us all in jail. The system is set up for us to fail. We're not human, We're not. That's the way they look at us. We're not human. I don't know what we are to them, but we're not that. We're not anything. And we're not worthy.
We're some of the earth.
We're the scum. We're the scum.
That's fine.
And that probably contributes to a lot of the crime that does happen, because we're not even looked at as like, somebody of value. So
how many charges? A lot of my charges honestly are stolen vehicles because we needed a place to stay at. You know what I mean? And then the cops get behind us and I'm sorry, but I had to go.
Bye.
Yeah, see, I'm not gonna just park the fucking car and get out. And a lot of times we didn't steal the cars. We literally found the keys on the ground and beeped it. You know what I mean?
We never ever just took a car. We don't us as a community. We don't do that type of shit. If someone got a steamer, they got it some type of legit way. Even though it's not legit, it was legit. Nobody just bogarted somebody and took their keys.
No, the safest way to get it. It was fair. No, I'm just
Nobody got hurt in the process.
I'm just playing.
For real. But the way they look at us contributes to a lot of the crime that happens because we're not looked at. We're held to some standards, their standards, but we don't follow their standards. But we're not looked at as valuable people, valuable human beings that have a place in this world. So if you're not looked at as that, then why the fuck care what anybody thinks? Let's go fuck up all the shit. Let's go fuck
Like,
up
this
people
is-
that are
yeah.
looked at as that, or not. It's not about hurting people. It's about getting money or whatever they
We're
want
basi-
of value. But
We're basically
they're like,
just being the individuals that you already see us as, basically.
exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. Just being what they already see us as. Because what the fuck? Why not? You know. I mean. I'm not, saying go do dumb shit and hurt people, but it's like, why not? If we're already looked at that, then
it's like the situation is continuing. You either started it from like this land is indigenous land, genocide happened.
Yes.
Historical trauma, generational trauma,
Mm-hmm.
that all plays a part into it. This is land that you just said we own,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're being evicted from the own land.
Right, a couple hundred years ago,
Land that
it wasn't even
being used at that.
right. A couple hundred years
An
ago,
empty lot.
not even that long ago. It's always an empty lot where nobody, they only have a problem when we use it because we're there. I bet if it was different people that was there using it for something.
Let's go back to right off the freeway, right on Franklin, alongside the wall.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. There wasn't, that was a pretty good area, I felt
It's
like.
almost
right
like,
there.
if you think about it, it's almost like history replaying itself. I'm glad
It
nobody
is,
got hurt here
definitely.
today, but just like how they came and, they stole our land from us back then, they killed us and butchered us, and they try to change us and, they still looked at us as savages. They try to change us to make them like them and their standards and their customs. But look what they're doing today. It's like the same damn thing. The police came in here. They came deep. They came with guns out, and they told everybody to get the fuck out. They gotta go because it's their shit. Is that not like it's almost like history playing itself? But thankfully, it's not as bad.
They came in marching one by one, like, all right, it's time to go get your stuff together. You're trespassed.
Yep.
Where's our slip at then?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Where's the documentation saying that we're trespassed? You know what I mean? You can't just tell somebody you're trespassed and you can't come back.
Yep.
You need documentation of that. Literally,
Exactly.
like, if you want to get into the whole legal thing, let me see your name signed on a piece of paper and let me get my yellow slip, my pink slip.
Speaking of legal thing, I want to say this before I forget. Like, where's that attorney at that was here a couple weeks ago? I forgot her name. She was saying that she's suing the city for them making us leave and them doing illegal things because we have the right to be there or whatever, right? And I told her, I asked her, I said, oh, you're suing them? I said, so that means you're going to get a settlement, right? And she was like, yeah, well, yeah, there's a settlement. I asked her how much it was, and she didn't have an answer for that. But I said, okay, well, I'm pretty sure the way you're moving about this, it's going to be on the news. It's going to be public. It's going to be something big. So it's going to be a large settlement, right? And she said, yeah. I said, well, why are you getting paid? Why are you getting paid for the shit we're going through? That's kind of fucked up. So I was like, what are you going to use the money for? And she didn't even have an answer. I was like, yeah, no, not for us at all. And I was like, not to build tiny homes, not to build nothing, And I'm like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. So you're just going to come, that's kind of like just, you just hop in, it's like a little come up for you real quick. You see money, you see a lawsuit, and you want to go get that money real quick. It's not about us. And I thought that was really fucked up. So she's going to go get millions of dollars because she's going to win because all the legal shit that happened to us,
setting up a
and then not even help us with that money.
The you know what I mean, set cause.
Right.
That it was, you know what I mean?
Exactly. We should be the ones suing them, We should as a whole. That whole lawsuit, I feel like that should be like,